Right guys, this is absolute dedication to the job. Oh, awful weather. But we just needed to do Amy's hacking video for you. And in the last hour, the snow's come down, but it has turned to rain. So it's not actually sticking, so it's not frozen or anything, guys. So it's not, you know, it's not dangerous, but you know, it's far from ideal. Anyway, this is Amy. You obviously can't see much horse under all that, but because it's obviously quite a dark and miserable day, and with Amy being a dark horse, we decided to get as much high vis on as we can just to make it safe. Many of you asking for information on Amy. I haven't yet written her information. I always find it easier and probably more effective to give the information via voiceover, but not just not to take the attention off the horse itself. So it's not ideal, as I say, definitely not ideal for conditions. And I know it's not great with having the window wipers on, but there's not a lot I can do about it, guys. And I'm definitely not walking. So Amy is our 16-1. She's Irish Draft Cross. She's 13 years old, and honestly, she's come from a private home, and the lady that she's come from, I've actually over the years had 2 other horses from this lady. One, we had a lovely big cob called Fergus, and more recently, oh hang on, I'm just going to sneeze, I think, guys. Oh, sorry. Just had the worst cold over Christmas, and it seems to be coming back. And then more recently we had a sports horse last year called Flo. Both horses were absolute fantastic horses, very different but fantastic horses. So I had full trust in the lady who owned Amy when approaching us with Amy. But all that set aside, Amy's reference and what this horse is on paper, you know, I'm going to jump at the chance the same as anybody should jump at the chance of having this horse, in my opinion, because she's one of those horses that actually suits pretty much everybody. And when I say that, you know, a lot of people with sort of a very quiet horse will say everybody or anybody's ride. But when they say anybody's ride, they obviously mean that it can be ridden by all abilities. However, you know, when they're very dozy is the wrong word. When they're very quiet and they're not sort of everybody's ride, because your more experienced people don't necessarily want to ride them. Whereas this horse, I truly believe is anybody's ride, because as safe as she is for the less experienced or less confident rider, she's also enjoyable and nice to ride for the more experienced rider. So in my opinion, that is what qualifies as anybody's ride. I know it is used in a different context, but you know, it's very hard to find one that is safe, reliable, but also enjoyable to ride, as I say, for a more experienced rider. So there's many people that come to me who perhaps want one that you know, they don't want something that they're going to get bored of, but equally they want to be very safe. I believe that this horse is the horse for them. So as I was saying, she's 16-1. Now this is where I lose her, but you're gonna have to bear with me because I don't want to drive too fast and go into the hedge. So as I say, she's 16-1, 13 years old, Irish Draft Cross. beautiful looking mare. And actually I was a little bit frustrated by when I looked at her photos yesterday, because sometimes I feel that I really capture the horses sort of as they are, and sometimes the photos don't do them justice. I truly believe that her photos do not do her justice. She really is a fantastic stamp of a horse, really, really good stamp of a horse. You know, she's got plenty bone, she's got plenty body, but also, you know, she's not too heavy to do the job. So she is really, there's a lot of people that will say middleweight, and you know, horses are not a true middleweight. This horse is a true middleweight. She's sort of a good old-fashioned hunter stamp. So she's a very, very, very sought after type, a real good model of a horse. Absolutely lovely, super temperament, really lovely temperament. Everybody that's met her instantly has really warmed to her straight away. She's just a very sweet mare. She has been so easy. I mean, just to relay some of her information that was passed on to us, she was described, and these are their words, is a very, very safe horse, one who has got no vices, one that's been very uncomplicated, used as a pleasure horse rather than a competition horse, but has done some showing apparently. Does jump round a course of jumps, show jumps and cross country, and is fantastic to hack alone and in company. Has no vices and is good with the farrier, good to clip, good to load, good to travel, good to catch. I mean, that pretty much sums up everything, doesn't it? You know, if that is the case, then those sort of horses make our life a whole lot easier. But to be honest, she's been exactly that. We've loaded her and travelled her both on a 3.5 ton and a 7.5 ton. She's travelled alone, absolutely good as gold. Oh, someone just made a jump then. Yeah, she's been great. She is already fully clipped. Well, actually, she's got a trace clip that is growing out a little bit, so we won't clip her. Oh, guys, you'll have to just excuse that, because down over this bridge, I'm not going to get out and show you, there is a load of, I don't know if they're not swans, whatever they are, those geese, Canadian geese or whatever they're called, and they are an absolute nightmare. So yeah, that did just startle, but you know, this is what's good about doing these videos, because I think there's so many people that just describe horses and say, yeah, they hack alone or hack in company or whatever, but you don't know how they hack. And I think, you know, it's very effective when we do these videos, because you get to see so much more than you see if you're at a viewing or just reading an advert. You know, you sort of go on the hack with them, and ideally where we can, we do this hack in pairs, but it's not always possible. It depends what horses we've got here. So when we take them out on this hack and we do it alone, you've just got to understand how good these horses are, because she's never been out on this hack before. This is the first time she's been here. It's horrendous weather, it's sleet, it's sleeting down, it's slippy underfoot. Nikki's got all the high vis on flapping around, and they've got to do a little bit of everything down sort of like the estate, and obviously we do the main road, we do a bit of canter, although the grass verges are getting very wet actually to canter in, but we still manage a little bit. So I think personally, if I was looking for a horse and I saw videos like this of them hacking alone, I'd be very impressed. Oh, poo stop. So in a second I'm going to pull up, jump out, and I'll restart the video again. This is the bit where I've got to brace myself in the cold. I get the easier job in the warm car. Right, okay, we'll catch you in a second. She's got the most comfortable canter ever, this mare. Absolute sweetheart. Oh. Bit colder out here than in that warm car, guys. Right guys, I'm just catching her back up now. So we just saw her having a canter down the main road. Absolute textbook little canter down the grass verge and on the main road. Couldn't falter. This is pretty much as she has been in everything, guys. She's just really lovely. I think I was saying before I got distracted about what her previous owners said, and as I was said, they described her as a very safe horse, and basically no vices, uncomplicated, used as a general all-rounder. She's only had 2 long-term homes in her life prior to the lady who I bought her off. She passed a vet check last year as well. So that's all done. Oh, past the blooming geese again. Oh, they must have gone. Yeah, so she's passed that, and you'll see on her video that I had Nikki on the flat asking her for a bit of outline, which she gave, and then we put Kyle on. Actually Kyle rode her the first day. When we don't ask for any outline, we just let them just sort of do their own thing. But I think you can see that she's very capable of working very nicely, but also you know, she was capable of just going around on an easy longish rein. She's snaffle mouth, she's not at all strong. You know, she's not very forward, she's not very lazy, she's that in between. But you know, you can see that on this hack, you know, she's happily taking Nikki forward. In fact, Nikki's sort of just sitting there and letting letting her take her, really. It's not been a battle. There's nothing worse than hacking out when you've got to go on your own and you feel that you've got to battle the whole way, you know. It's supposed to be enjoyable. And so you can just see that Aimee is quite happily hacked alone, no problems whatsoever. And as I was saying before, they've never done this route. This is their first hack out alone. You know, it's not as if you're watching a horse that's been here for the last 5 years or anything like that. No, she's good to do in the stable. She's good to tack up, good to mount. She stands by the block. And, you know, as always, the aim is with our horses that we have long-term homes. You know, that's always going to be the aim. But this horse is not one that's been for sale. She's not been all over the internet at all. She's not been passed around. These horses, you know, when they go for sale on the internet, they just snap up because you just can't find them. They really are everybody's sort. So I would imagine she'd be great out hunting as well. She's not hunted as far as I know, but I imagine she'd be fab. She would definitely be one that we would take if we were going out hunting. She'd be the one that you take on beach rides, fun rides. I mean, she has done all of that anyway. She has. So she is the ultimate all-rounder. We found, she's described to have no vices. We found absolutely no vices. Oh, excuse the speed up. It's very difficult to keep focused when you're going over the bumps. See that little canter? Sorry if that's not very clear, guys, but you can see her cantering up the grass verge. Okay, so that's our Aimee. I would say that was pretty perfect. She's at the very, very bottom of the Blue Heart. So very reasonably priced for a horse like her. If you knew her, guys, you'd snap her up without a doubt. Without a doubt. Very, very, very genuine horse. I know you can't see a lot of her, guys, because she's under all that high vis, but you know. You've joined her on the full hack. And you couldn't find much worse conditions, bless her. I mean, it's not ideal. We wouldn't do this normally. It's only because we need you guys to see her for exactly what she is. So there you go. There's Aimee. Nick's riding her up, leading her up the ramp because it's so slippy.